literally, as you're hearing my voice, my name is Peter. We literally have hundreds of people that come in literally 3 to 5 minutes just before the call. So it's absolutely pandemonium as we're coming in here. We already have over 600 people on the call right now. Could you imagine that on a Wednesday, 600 people on a training call at 4 o'clock Eastern time? It's amazing, where a lot of people are probably still at work and would love to be on this call. For those people unfamiliar with my voice, my name is Peter. Alex is going to be here. He's on the call with me now. He's going to be handling some questions available through email. So you want to send your questions, if you have any, to questions@zeeklers.com. Questions, plural, at zeeklers.com. I'm going to share a couple of things, Alex, as you start doing this. As you guys are coming on, there's some new people always on the call. So you'll always hear me, first of all, say thanks for everyone for being here. I know you do countless things that no one will ever see to help other people learn how to become successful in a home-based business. So all the times that you do things, the hours that you spend on the phone or through email, the conversations that you have, the verbal massaging that you inevitably do, the troubleshooting, the handling all the related issues, we know you do a ton of that stuff, and I just want to say thank you personally. So next, what you do also is if you have some questions, you can submit that generic question to questions@zeeklers.com. Now, we always like to kind of explain how things work. Kind of think this through. If we have now almost 700 people on this call, if everyone submits one question, will all of the questions be answered in a half-hour or 45-minute call? More than less likely, no. So remember, there's a lot of people on the call. Some people might have questions. So Alex is first, probably going to go whatever he's going to go over. Somewhere or another, we're going to show you where to find most of the answers to most of your questions in the platforms that are being developed, so you'll be able to do those things as well. So we're going to get started with all that stuff in just a second. But Alex, I want to say, first of all, thanks for being here on this call, and we're officially going to get started. I'm going to push the recorded button.
This conference is being recorded.
But we're going to record, and just for the time and date stamp on this one, today is July 11th of 2012 here in the United States, and it's 4:03 p.m. Eastern Time. So, Alex, off to you. Let's go.
Thank you, Peter, and thank you, everybody, for coming out to the call today. I'd first like to start off with people have been bringing up things about the issues with banks and issues with commissions being paid out. And if you have not seen the video that was just posted on MLMHelpDesk.com by Troy, he talks about how commissions are being paid out and how healthy our current banking relationships are, and a recent incident that happened at home office. So if you haven't not seen the video after the call, I recommend that you go to MLMHelpDesk.com and watch Troy's video that answers a lot of the pressing questions that people have had. Also, something that was going on this morning, today, there were some issues with sample bid purchases through Payza. And if you saw that you made a purchase and it didn't go through, that issue has now been resolved. So they were reprocessed and put back into the queue and reprocessed. So if you had a failed transaction through Payza, it went through. Go back and verify that on your accounts. And I'm going to now jump right into the questions. And the first question is, when will ACH be an available option for receiving commissions and commissions?
All right, so Alex, could you just repeat that one more time, because your voice is a little bit on the low side, okay. And when you mention stuff like ACH, we might think that people know what that means. So can you explain what ACH might mean and repeat the question, please?
ACH is a lot like a direct deposit to your bank account. So if you have ACH set up, like you can have it set up for, if you're a subcontractor, you can have ACH set up so that basically you get your paycheck automatically directly deposited into your bank account, and there's no middleman or middle entity that has to have money processed through, and then you have to go from that entity to your bank. So the question is, when will ACH be an available option? I believe it is going to be an option. I just don't have a time frame for that. So at this moment in time, I know that it's going to be something that's implemented. I just don't have a timeline for as to when. And the next question is, ZeekSupport.ZeekRewards.com is inaccessible. It has you log in, then pops up a window for signing into Zeek Rewards, which in turn, after signing into Zeek Rewards, tells you that your session has expired and you have to log in again. Okay, this has been fixed. So if you were struggling with logging into the support community, because ZeekRewards.com is the support community that launched a little over 3 weeks ago now, and there were people that were having issues logging in, and we didn't change something. It was a programmatical thing that we needed to change because we updated our login information on the front end of Zeek Rewards, and we just didn't make that adjustment on the community. So if you were having issues, you can now log into the support community, and the link to the support community is ZeekSupport.ZeekRewards.com.
Alex, can I interrupt for 1 second just for some of the newer people on the line?
Yep.
If you're here on the line, you definitely want to grab a pen and paper or any other note-taking device and write down the following things. If you're an upline or planning on being an upline, you want to make sure you have these things down as well so you can show people where to find the information. We went over this yesterday, so we'll go over it briefly again today. You should write down ZeekRewards.com. So I'll give you the list of things that you should write down. ZeekRewards.com. The next one is going to be ZeekRewardsNews.com. The next one is going to be ZeekRewardsNews, as in NEWS.com/training. So again, the first one, if you're just grabbing a pen and paper now, or you're pulling off to the side of the road, or you're starting to figure out that maybe I should take notes, first one I gave you was ZeekRewards.com. Second one I gave you was ZeekRewardsNews.com. Third one so far is ZeekRewardsNews.com/training. And this last one is ZeekSupport.ZeekRewards.com. So ZeekSupport.ZeekRewards.com. On ZeekRewards.com, you'll see a lot of frequently asked questions and a lot of the documentation that you need to know about your business. On ZeekRewardsNews.com, that's actually like a blog, and they post different and various things a few times a week. You can also find previous posts so you can see a little bit about some previous issues in history. Next, ZeekRewardsNews.com/training is a place that's being updated for archived audios, perhaps like this one, different documentation, different training videos that are in place. So ZeekRewardsNews.com/training. And Alex, why don't you explain that last one, ZeekSupport.ZeekRewards.com.
Absolutely. For anybody that's new and for anybody that's an existing affiliate in Zeek Rewards and has not seen the support community, if you go to ZeekSupport.ZeekRewards.com, it is a peer-to-peer support community with moderators in there as well. And it is like an FAQ or knowledge base that is fully dynamic and ever-growing. So every time someone asks a question and there's resolution to that question, it's saved. And if someone comes to the site later and asks the same question, that question and answer will appear underneath the search. So the first thing you'll see is a little search bar along with a couple of the most frequently asked questions threaded at the top, the most popular ideas, and some common problems, and the most recent praise that's been given in the community. So you would always start off by asking your question, and then after you hit enter, anywhere from 3 to 5 results appear underneath the search bar. And if your question has already been asked, you'll see that it's already been asked, and there's a little check mark by it showing that it's already been answered. So if you click on that first result or the third result, whichever one suits your question the most, click on that, and then you'll see the question and you will see the answers that were given in the thread. If you ask a question that hasn't been asked before, it will give you the opportunity to create a new topic. And I've been hearing anywhere from 10 minutes to a couple hours people are getting comments on. You as affiliates also have the ability to comment on those threads. So if you know that, if you see a question that you know the answer to, you have the ability to comment on that. We have moderators that are watching the threads as well, so they can come in and say, yep, that's the answer, and check mark the question off. And so we have about 13 maybe 15 or so moderators in there right now, along with a couple brand champions that are consistently working around the clock in that forum as well. So if you have a topic-based question that isn't a personal account issue, you can get a resolution to that question. So any kind of general questions, you don't feel like searching everywhere on the site or searching everywhere on the training website, you can go to the community, see if it's been asked there, or if it hasn't, you can make a new thread and you will get a response back, and you'll get an email notification when it happens as well. And so that's my little ditty on the support community.
Perfect. Next question.
Next question is, the email and phone numbers for Zeek Rewards affiliates have been removed out of the sponsorship report. Is this a temporary or permanent edit? Thanks, John. I believe that this is a temporary edit. I know that it was done for security reasons. I don't have any more information other than that. That's what I was told really briefly. When I know more, I will tell you guys on the training call, maybe tomorrow. I know that several people, including myself, have not been paid for 7.2 through NXPay. Can you address this? Yes, NXPay is almost done, almost done paying out. I would think anywhere in the next 1 to 2 days, NXPay should be caught up. So watch for that. If I purchase a Diamond subscription, why does my status say welcome from Diamond preferred customer? Will it show affiliate once the bids are posted to the account, or do they have to sponsor people first? You will need to, okay, Diamond preferred customer is a rank. Once you have sponsored 2 preferred affiliate customers, and a preferred affiliate customer is a silver, gold, or diamond subscriber that's purchased at least 10 sample bids with external funds, then you have achieved the rank of an affiliate, or if you were a diamond, you would have achieved the rank of an executive. So it would change from either diamond, it would change from welcome from diamond preferred customer to diamond affiliate, or or executive, welcome from diamond executive, so-and-so. So that is a dynamic thing, and it changes based on your rank, and preferred customer is a rank. And then the next half of the question, also my sponsor's website has the video with the girl laying down by the computer, and mine is only showing blank. And how, when will that get updated? I don't see the place to order those videos for the $29.95 on my website. Okay, the $29.99 charge is not fully implemented yet. We had some integration issues on the USHBB side, but that is resolved now, so we're just making sure that all the data can be authenticated, and then the form will go up. The reason why someone would have that video showing on their screen and not showing on your screen is because they've already gone ahead and purchased the You Get Paid to Advertise video marketing system from the YouGetPaidToAdvertise.com website. When you purchase that system, the 9-minute video appears on your Zeek Rewards homepage. So if you see someone with a video and you don't have the video, that means you don't own the video marketing system. And if you would like to go purchase the video marketing system, you can go to YouGetPaidToAdvertise.com and purchase it for $5 for the first month and $15 for each month after that. My bid purchase is showing up today at approximately 11:30, and it shows that I purchased bids of XXX. When does the computer update it and show it as bids in the volumes? It's only showing as the bids being purchased, but all the points are the same prior to the purchase being posted. Okay. So if you see the line item where bids have been purchased in your transaction history in your RPP report, you need to look for the line item that says company pool resulted in XXX points by giving away XXX amount of bids to customers or by paying back bid advance. So that's the line item that you look for, because remember, when you purchase bids, you don't automatically get points. You need to have the bids given away in order to earn points, and that line item is represented by the company pool resulted in XXX. I've tried communicating about a Zeekler penny auction site problem to the email address you gave me. Okay, the email address that you have is wrong. It's LHA, not IHA. I received, okay. Why, as a diamond, should we change the default to 500 bids to give to customers? You have a choice, and it's whatever you feel comfortable with. So if you're a diamond affiliate, you can choose to give anywhere from 25 to 500. Why set yours to 25 or why set it to 500 is a personal choice. However, if let's say, for example, you have it set to 500 and you sponsor 5 customers, each one of those customers is going to get 500 bids advanced to them by the company. That in turn is going to create a 2,500 bid advance in your back office. Now, what's a bid advance? With 2,500 bid advance, you would pay back that bid advance with daily awards that you choose to repurchase bids with, commissions that you choose to purchase bids with. So you get let's say you have a commission of $50 and you choose to purchase bids with that $50. Those 50 bids would go back to paying back the bid advance, and then you would get the points. So there's no act of giving bids to customers because the bids have already been distributed to them in the form of a bid advance, and you're paying back that bid advance and getting the points. So you would build a higher bid advance by setting your bid give manager to 500 as opposed to 25. However, some people like to give new customers 250 bids. Some people like to give them 50 bids or 100 bids. Ultimately, it's your choice, and that's why there's a range to choose from. Okay. Can 2 people in the same house use the same credit card? No. Got to use your own credit card. Your credit card information needs to match the information that's on your account, and it's 1 card per person. You can't share your card across multiple accounts. Okay, despite your advice the past 2 days, I enrolled someone 3 times last night after getting an error message. I put in a ticket to have 2 bad ones removed. Will they be removed, or will they just compress out on commissions runs? Both will happen. If you've sent in a ticket, most likely they will be removed. The 2 positions will be marked inactive, and then they'll get removed out of your matrix. And if they are already labeled as inactive, they will get compressed out, inactive or free. They get compressed out on commission runs. So if you have an entire line in your matrix that's filled with free positions or inactive positions, when the matrix commissions run, it gets compressed out. So it's like that line isn't even there.
Alex, while you're in between questions, there was something that was stated, but I just want to make sure everybody kind of got it. Mm-hmm. The person had mentioned, despite our advice against doing so, if you get an error message upon submitting something, that person may have actually been submitted and your servers grabbed it. But the error message comes back and it looks like it didn't work. So what I've been telling people over the last couple of days is, if you get an error message, you'll have to check into your back office to see if that person really was submitted in. Because just because you get an error message back from the server, it could have been busy, it could have been tied up with something else, who knows what might have happened, but that person actually was really submitted. So if you see something that says they're already in there, or you get an error message, you just really have to go back in and check.
Yeah, and any time, it's just it would be a best practice, and my recommended best practice, any time that you get an error message when you were attempting to perform some sort of an action, whether it be registering customers, purchasing bids, anything that requires the page to load, and you're trying to process something, and you get an error page, my first thing that I would always recommend, instead of trying to redo whatever you just did, is verify whether or not what you just did went through or not. I know that this is a little bit of a reprogramming than you're used to. If you don't see a success page or a thank you page or whatever, you think that it didn't work. But In most cases that I have seen, it has worked, so I would always recommend if you see an error page to just go back and verify whether or not what you were trying to do did happen or did not happen before trying to run and do it again.
And as far as best practices are concerned, I know many of you do this, but some of you might not, is it's always a lot better just to kind of take 30 seconds or 60 seconds before you push whatever submit button and just make sure that you basically you over-communicate or you overlook and you just double-check to make sure that whatever you're submitting is in the right spot. It's a lot easier to do it right than have to do it over. And there's a lot of errors on user ends that you can eliminate if you quadruple check it before you push the button. It's worth the extra 30 or 60 seconds. And then if still all else fails and you get that error message, you realize it might be on the server end, you still have to go double check. So that will eliminate, double posting. Sometimes I hear people say, this guy's now on my system 10 times. Or they say he's already in the system the second time they submit and they think there's something wrong and he's already there. All right, Alex, next question.
Next question is, how is Zeek going to fix the duplicate matrix entries? And I sort of answered this in the last question, and I'll answer it again here. If you submitted a ticket and you are requesting that X amount of positions be removed because the guy created an account 10 times, like Peter just said, then it can only be done by a programmer, and a programmer has to go in there and manually delete those positions out. It takes a little bit longer because it requires somebody else putting their hands into the code and changing things. However, you just need to send in a ticket and request for the positions to be removed, and they will in order as those tickets are received. Wanting to know if I signed up using a tax ID or social security number. Can't seem to get an answer from Zeek people. I've sent issues to back office multiple times over 3 weeks ago. On a personal file, it won't tell me the specifics on that question. Okay, you've been wanting to know if you signed up using a tax ID or a social security number. Okay, then I would just recommend that, like you did, send in the ticket, and they will answer you. I believe that maybe you could also probably ask that question in the support community. They won't be able to give you the specific number, but they can at least verify whether or not it was a social or a tax ID that you used. They would be able to see the last 4 digits. So if you know your last 4 digits, they would be handled on a personal issue basis, but you should be able to get it handled through there probably. Can you tell me what you can say on your blog about Zeek rewards? Okay, if you want to make, I don't know, Chad, you need to be a little bit more specific as to what you want to talk about in terms of Zeek rewards on your blog. That's a real broad stroke question. So if you want to be a little bit more specific, I can comment on a little bit more of a specific question. Okay, if I have money from a new affiliate on my level 1 and it goes into my cash available account, cash available balance, though I have 100% repurchase setting, and I use this money to purchase sample bids, does that count against my 10,000 lifetime maximum? No, your 10,000 lifetime max is strictly for external funds. So you can purchase 10,000 sample bids with external funds, and then let's say you sell 10,000 sample bids to a level 1 affiliate. Well, you just made a $1,000 commission, and you can choose to repurchase bids with that commission, and that's considered internal funds. So the 10,000 lifetime max only applies to external funds. Internal funds, there is no limit on. Okay. Who can we talk regarding the purchase of customers? I wouldn't recommend purchasing customers. So if you, and this it ultimately boils down to where you're getting your customers from, who's the source, can you trust the source, is the source reliable, where are they getting their customers from? That's the question that you always need to ask yourself is, how is the source that you're purchasing customers from getting these customers? I would always recommend using your own marketing campaigns to attract customers that are and that's verifiable, someone that's opted in, someone that's requested this type of information. If you buy it from a source that you're not too familiar with, that just threw up a web page on the internet with a bunch of red flashy text in front of you, with call to actions, I wouldn't recommend that. You don't know where the source is. You don't know if the people that they're giving you even opted in. And if they didn't opt in, then it's an even bigger problem because you've got people now complaining that they have accounts to things that they didn't agree to. So I would always recommend that you get your own customers.
Alex, while you're speaking about that, there's a couple of issues relative, just to kind of expand on that. The FTC changed the ruling so the corporate office isn't allowed to recommend or endorse specific companies. So that's one issue. The second issue is this opportunity has become so big for lots of people it's almost spun off, almost like a third-party program where lots of people are trying to sell things and services to people from your company. So it's almost created its own economy in essence. And that also presents some challenges. So one of the ones that I know have recently been disclosed is for those people that understand that, oh my gosh, a lot of these people are interested in raising their points. So the bad guys are actually advertising new services that will help to double your points. And in essence, then what happens next, Alex? I'm not sure if you're familiar with that scenario, but I've seen that run across the screen so far, that now there's actually the fraudsters that are realizing there's a lot of people that don't know what they're doing, so they're going to advertise that they can help you double their points. And Alex, I'll let you complete my sentence.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like in anything, you have to be careful about schemes and scams. Someone can promise you something, and then you purchase something from them, and then you're never delivered on. And you always have to be kind of pay attention to the type of website that you're on. And this is not just something that applies to Zeek, but applies to anything on the internet. If the site looks like it's a fly-by-night site, do your due diligence, kind of poke around and see what you're about to do on that website is okay. Just like how you can have a network marketing company website thrown up in a couple of seconds and then taken down in a couple days later, things happen. People can put up a website in 30 minutes. So I would always recommend that you do your due diligence about anything that you do on the internet.
And specifically in that instance, Alex, from what I understand is they're advertising that they're going to be able to double your points, and then, of course, they're going to need your first name, your last name, all of your user information, your password, and all of those things. So, therefore, the scheme is that they'll double your points, but what they really just did was they grabbed all your personal information. Right. So just as when Bank of America sends you something that says you have to verify your account, don't do it. If you're going to a website or getting an email that says we're going to double this, we're going to double that, don't do it unless you know it's a reputable place, and there's no place that I know, Alex, that anybody can have their points doubled.
Right, exactly. That most specifically. There's nobody on the internet that can offer you a service that will double your Zeek Rewards points. There's no such thing. The only ways to earn points are by purchasing bids and giving them away, or selling bids to customers and earning points for every dollar that they spend on those bids. Those are the only ways you can earn points.
In a weird form of a compliment that you guys are so successful, you are now having people that are creative enough to figure out new and better and different ways to scam you. So watch out. Go ahead, Alex. Next question.
Right. I'm curious to know if you're currently addressing/contacting people who have sent in resumes to interviews@Zeeklers.com. Yes, I just started going through the box today, and I've had some people taking a look briefly. I've been wrapped up in some personal projects for the company, and I have not been able to focus on there, but for those of you that did send in resumes, they are being reviewed. I know that a lot of you would like to hear a response in less than 24 hours or 48 hours out of that inbox. but things do take some time and things do happen, and I'm going through the emails today, tomorrow, the next couple of days, so you'll be hearing responses back.
Alex, if I can ask a question?
Yes.
As you were mentioning the things that you're doing and the projects that you're working on, there's going to be a red carpet event on July 25th. So for those people that might be wondering, that's happening, but it's sold out so fast. That's why Alex isn't talking about the red carpet event, because it's already been sold out. It's sold out in just a few hours since they did the posting. So that really was a statement, but it wasn't much of a question. Alex, when is the information about the national convention going to become available? Because I'm sure there's going to be a flood of people that are interested in learning more information about that as well.
Yes. I will actually poke around about that. I have an outline. However, that outline is not fully set in stone yet, so I can't comment on any of the specifics yet. Once we have all the details ironed out, it will be posted up on Zeek Rewards News. And then anybody that's asking about August, September, October red carpet events, we aren't doing red carpet events for August, September, and October. The July Red Carpet Wednesday is the last Red Carpet Wednesday until the event in November for Nashville. And I don't know post that if there's going to be Red Carpet Wednesdays or not. So if you're asking about Red Carpet events for when the link's going to go up for August, September, October, there are no Red Carpet Wednesday events until after the event, the main event in November. And the next question, need to upgrade the number of bids that each subscription level can give to customers in the back office. Getting started guide, isn't it 1,000 for all subscriptions levels? Now, just new customers can only get 100, 250, 500, depending on silver, gold, and diamond, respectively. Okay, I think that's a statement, but it is 1,000 for all subscription levels. However, you can only give 100, 250, and 500 on sign-up to new customers based on your subscription level. So, yes, you can give 1,000 to all of your customers, but no, only 100 can be advanced at the silver level, 250 can be advanced at the gold subscription, and 500 can be advanced at the diamond subscription. Okay. I just passed the 90 days, and I'm curious to know what I should do. What should I set my account to? Should it be 80-20, 20-80? That's up to you. You're now at the point where you're going to have points retiring out of your account every single day. I would recommend that you take a look at your point retirement calendar, and anybody that's approaching the 90-day mark or is after the 90-day mark, I would always recommend that you take a look at your point retirement calendar, because even though you have points retiring every single day, you can generate new sales and new commissions and new anything to combat point retirement. So, so if you have 20 points retiring today, well, you can sell $20 worth of bids, you can sell $100 worth of bids, give those bids away and earn 100 points, and continue to earn daily awards based on your points balance and not be so impacted by point retirement. However, you are going to need to generate new sales and new money in order to keep your balance from not completely depleting. So I would always recommend that you use the point retirement calendar as a tool, not a, oh my gosh, this is so scary because I'm losing points. Use it as a tool. Okay, well, I need to generate this much in new sales today, or I need to generate this much in new sales today in order to combat point retirement, if that's something that is of interest to you. If you want to change your bid repurchase preference, you can change your bid repurchase preference. That's also a choice. I would recommend that you use the calendar as a tool and generate new sales, purchase bids, give those bids away, earn points, continue to get daily awards. The video marketing system. The video from You Get Paid to Advertise is not loading on my replicated site. Is this a site-wide problem? I just pulled it up on my page. I think it might have just been a temporary thing, Lonnie. Do a hard refresh on your page. And a hard refresh for anybody that wants to know, if you hold down the Shift key, and then while you're holding down the Shift key, hit the refresh button on your browser, that's called a hard refresh, and see if the video shows up. Okay. Is questions@zeeklers.com? All right. This is a question about the email address. Is it questions@zeeklers.com or is it question@zeekler.com? Thus, is it plural or singular? And it's plural. It's questions and it's Zeeklers. So questions@zeeklers.com.
And Alex, make sure that people understand that that's really something that's used for this call. And as we said a little bit earlier, there was over 900 people on the call so far. Mm-hmm. If 900 people submitted one question, most of those will not be answered on this call. And they won't be answered, period. So it's not like someone sits behind questions@zeeklers.com and then answers all of those questions. So you got a shot at getting your question answered. If it's not answered on this call, don't expect a reply. So, Alex, is that fair enough to say?
That is fair enough to say, absolutely. And the next question is, can the RPP report be used at year-end as a tax record? How long are the records kept on that report? You do have a record of your RPP, your transaction history, from the time that you create your account until present. You can only see 10 days at a time. However, we do have a year-end summary report that you can see in your commission's cash-out report, and that's generated on a yearly basis, and that summarizes all the details of your account in printable format for that specific reason.
Alex, this is a good time to expand on that question a little bit relative to the 1099s that people will get at the end of the year. Mm-hmm. So although you and I can't give legal tax advice, we can kind of tell them what's going to happen when they get their 1099s and where that number is going to come from. So right. No one's hit with a surprise. Can you review that?
Absolutely. You're going to get a 1099 on all your earnings. And what do I mean by your earnings? Your earnings are your daily awards. Your earnings are the commissions that you generate from the matrix, commissions that you generate from the sales of the bids on Zeekler. All your commissions, your daily awards, these are all considered earnings. And with all these earnings, you have a choice. Every single time you have a choice. You have a choice to either take that money in the form of a check or cash out to an e-wallet, or you can choose to purchase bids with those funds. And so every time you get an earning, that's going to be all calculated and added up into your 1099 as your earnings. And then you're also taking those earnings and repurchasing bids and giving those bids away as business samples. So that's the other thing you need to pay attention to is how many bids have you given away as a business sample? Because for every bid, each bid costs $1, and for every $1 that you have in daily awards that you're repurchasing bids with, and then in turn giving those bids away as samples, you'll have a record of as well. So the two numbers you have to look for, you'll see are your earnings, and then the number that you need to kind of keep tabs on is how many bids have you given away as business samples. So,
Alex, if I could take what you just said and kind of turn it into English for regular people. Imagine if I'm getting $1,000 at least on paper in earnings. Theoretically speaking, if there's 365 days a year, my 1099 is going to be at least $365,000, at least. And if I reinvest that, then those things come out. So there's money in, there's money out. So for those people that are seeing large daily amounts coming in, that's going to show up on your 1099. So even though you didn't take it, it's still going to show up on your 1099. Is that fair enough to say in English? So when people peel open that little sticker or peel open that little notification from your company, they don't have a heart attack when they see big numbers.
Correct. Okay. Edward is saying we need better communication and education, so why the lack of recorded calls under affiliates only? Thanks for all you do. Those are like generally the calls that go onto there, the leadership calls. There's also more recorded calls on the training website, which Peter mentioned was ZeekRewardsNews.com/training. There's an entire audio library there that's filled with sales training, and there's also an audio library of recorded calls. And we are also working on a podcast for all the recorded training calls and leadership calls, so that's in the works as well. Okay. And for everybody that's sending in a question, when will the NXPay link be back up? I don't have a timeline for that. I know that anybody that's got a pending payment for July 2nd, those are almost all finished. I expect that to be done in the next 1 to 2 days. As far as requesting more funds from NXPay, I don't have a timeline. I had money in Payza to buy bids. I sent money to Rex Venture Link. When will I receive it in my account? Okay, you don't send money from your Payza account to the Rex Venture Group Payza account. You use the purchase sample bids form in your back office. So if you want to buy bids using Payza, or you want to buy bids using Solid Trust Pay, you have to click on the purchase sample bids in your back office. Once you do that, it asks you how many bids do you want to buy. You input the amount of bids that you want to buy, and then you click submit. On the next page, you have a choice: pay with Solid Trust Pay, pay with Payza, pay with money order, pay with cashier's check. Click one of those buttons, and in your case it would be Payza, and then you are taken to the Payza website, and then you process the charge there. So don't send money from your Payza account to the Rex Venture Group account on Payza. That's not going to get you bids. You need to use the purchase form in your back office. Okay. The website www.zeeksupport.zeekrewards.com was announced last week. I've been trying since last week, and each time the page says, sorry, can't find www.zeeksupport. Okay, the issue is the www. Try just doing http://zeeksupport.zeekrewards.com. When you throw in the www, and this is going to get a little bit more on the technical side, but the www is a subdirectory of ZeekRewards.com. Zeek Support is also a subdirectory of ZeekRewards.com. So what you've done here is you put a subdirectory into subdirectory.ZeekRewards.com, and that's why you're getting a page that says, sorry, you can't find it, because that page does not exist. You just type in your browser bar ZeekSupport.ZeekRewards.com, exactly how it was announced, and you will go to that website. Put the www in there, and you're not going to load the page. So the same thing applies if you're just going to your Zeek Rewards website. You don't do www.yourusername.zeekrewards.com. You just do yourusername.zeekrewards.com, and you end up on your page.
And just a little bit of an expansion on that. This is a techie explanation that we're giving you right here. Mm-hmm. The reason why Zeek Rewards News or ZeekRewards.com is the brand. So the domain name is the brand. So you always want to brand your brand. That A record, or like Alex mentioned, the subdirectory, some people call them subdomains. There's a couple of different terms for those things. That allows the computers to be in different sections of the world. So, for instance, with my company, I have some servers in Florida. I have some servers in Texas. I have some servers somewhere else. And the brand name is XYZ, and then, chat.xyz.com is in one section of the country, and support.whatever is in another section of the country. So when they set those things up, that's the way it is. And, Alex, maybe you can ask Dan, now that everyone on the phone might have a better understanding of the way it is. Most people still think that you put in www.everything, and you don't have to. So maybe Dan can set up the record so if someone does mistype it, it still goes to the correct place.
Absolutely.
So that's just kind of like the formatting of how things work.
Okay. And the next question is, I heard talking about a yearly fee of $30 for both the compliance course and you get paid to advertise. When does this take effect, and how will the previous subscribers see change in our payments? I believe it's going to be soon. I know that there was integration issues. I commented on this earlier. There was integration issues that has been resolved as far as I know. We just need to make sure that all the data that you get paid to advertise is valid, and so that when we actually do run the purchasing, everything communicates with each other and we don't have any issues. Everyone is going to subscribe to the $29.99 fee, regardless of whether or not you already own the You Get Paid to Advertise system. There's going to be some added benefits to those that have already subscribed in the system versus those that are new. It is just something that everyone's going to have to do. Hang on 1 second. I'm going through a lot of personal account. And I'll just do my plug for, if you've sent in a personal account issue, I will not address it on the training call. The training call is strictly for topic-based questions, so if you could do your part in sending in questions that are topic-based and not personal account issues, it will speed up this process significantly. Okay. Alex, can you please explain the numbers at the top of the Bid Give Manager? I've not seen any written explanation as to what these numbers mean, like bids that generate points, bids that already received points. What are the implications of these numbers, and do we need to monitor these? Okay. The numbers at the top of the Bid Give Manager, if you see two text fields. If you were in the company prior to 8/15, then the column that says bids that have already received points is relevant to you. If you joined the company after 8/15, then that column is irrelevant. The column that's probably most pertinent to everybody is the bids that generate points. The company pool distributes your bids. It's the entity that distributes your bids to each one of your available customers, and at times the company pool falls behind. So in those rare cases, you would go into your Bid Give Manager and you would see that you have 44 bids that generate points. If the company pool is behind, you would see that number, and in that time, you could potentially click on the drop-down and manually give bids away to your customers and get points for them. Do you need to monitor it? No. The company pool, if it falls an hour behind, it's an hour behind, and eventually it will distribute your bids. However, if you're one of those instant gratification people and you see that you've got bids that generate points, you can go ahead and manually give your bids away to one of your customers and get the points. So do you need to monitor it? No. If you would like to manually give your bids away when you see they're there, go for it. You're not going to hurt anything. Okay. Hang on 1 second. In the Bid Give Manager, is there going to be a way for us to select to give bids back to the pool as one of our choices along with our customers and affiliates? Okay, the company, like I said, the company bid pool is the entity that distributes your bids to your available customers. So you don't put your bids in a pool and then they just go and they get thrown away to whoever is available. The company pool distributes your bids to your customers for you. It's the machine that does it for you. So you do have the only time that you really have a choice to manually give your bids away is like I said, when the company pool falls behind. In those cases, you could manually give your bids away. However, in most 99% of the time, the company pool is running at full speed, and you never see the bids that generate points, and it's always distributing your bids to your available customers. If you give bids to your affiliates, you get a half a point. So always remember that. If you give your bids away to your affiliates, you will get a half a point. And it says it in big, bold letters. So if you do this and you send in a ticket, you're not going to get the additional points. You gave your bids away to your affiliate, you got half a point, and that's that. Give your bids away to your customers, and you get the full point. A friend of mine lives in the U.S. He also has an address and is a resident in Mexico. He wants to enroll from his Mexico address. Can he get paid in U.S. currency? I believe the only way he could get paid in U.S. currency is if he had a U.S. bank account. If he lived in Mexico and had a Mexican bank account, then any money that he transferred from an e-wallet to his bank would be converted to that country's currency. If you want to have dollars, then you would need an American bank account. Okay. I thought all subscription levels could now give 1,000 bids to each Zeekler customer over time. However, one customer has received 100. They're being grayed out in my bid give manager and cannot be given anymore. If you're a silver affiliate, which I'm assuming you are based on this situation, then yes, they are going to be grayed out because you can't manually give more than 100. Company pool will go ahead and distribute the additional bids to that customer, 25 bids at a time to each one of their available customers. So in the situation of where, yes, everyone can give 1,000, you are still limited based on your subscription level to 100, 250, and 500 for diamond, gold, and silver. Okay, Alex, I'm a blogger, and I would like to understand what you can say or not say on my blog. Can I say what a great business this is and list my phone number, or how the auction works, or how Zeek has changed my business, or list my sign-up link? You can list your sign-up link. If you are writing something and you're uncertain as to whether or not this is compliant based on the things that have been set forth by the company, you can always take your draft of what you want to post, send it to compliance@zeeklers.com. They will review and let you know, but you can, have your link up there, and you can talk about the business model as long as you talk about it from in a compliance perspective. You're not putting money in, you're not creating you're not funding an account, things like this. You're making bid purchases. You are running an income opportunity, not a business opportunity. These are the little details. So if you have something that you want to post and you're unsure that it's 100% compliant, I would always recommend that you send it to compliance@zeeklers.com and have them review and get back to you. But feel free to post your link up there, your number, things like that. That's totally cool. Don't make income claims. Don't make lifestyle claims. Show the income disclosure statement.
So, Alex, in that, I think it would be fair and appropriate to say make sure you take the compliance course, take the advanced compliance course, stay away from banking, investment terms, things along that line, and passive income claims. Those are, in broad sweeping strokes, some of the biggest issues that most people have. So if you were pushing a jungle juice, you wouldn't be able to make medical claims either. You guys aren't pushing jungle juices. So it's usually passive income claims, investment claims, banking terms, lifestyle type things, anything that might be perceived as something like that.
Absolutely. And, the income disclosure statement is your best friend. You can find it on your Zeek Rewards homepage, if you on your homepage on the left-hand navigation where it says legal, there's a plus icon. Click the plus icon, and after that, there's a little submenu that drops down. Click on income disclosure statement. That's your best friend. Every time you want to start talking about the business, make sure that you present that first. If you're going to do a blog post, maybe present the income disclosure statement first, and then talk about what you're going to talk about. If you already own the You Get Paid to Advertise system, there's also the Doggone Truth video. I would recommend showing that first prior to talking about anything related to the business. That's, and take the compliance course and the advanced compliance course when it's available. Read the training website, and you should be in good shape. Has the 15-minute time frame been removed for upgrade and bonus points? No, the 15-minute time frame is still in place from the time that you sign up, from the time you upgrade. If it takes you a couple extra days to upgrade, you can always contact Affiliate Services. They will post the bonus points. I believe you can also manage that in the support community as well. So if you ran into an issue where you couldn't upgrade and then a couple days later it went through, then send in a ticket or contact make a comment on one of the threads in the community, and you'll get the bonus points added to your account.
Okay, Alex, we're sitting at right almost an hour on this call. Do you want to hold some other questions? You have a couple of quickies, and otherwise we'll just wrap it up.
Several weeks ago you said any level can give 1,000 bids to a customer. We have not been able to do that even manually. Is it working yet? And I'm going to go over this again, and this will be the final question for the call. You can give away 1,000 bids to each one of your available customers. You personally can only do 100, 250, or 500 based on your subscription level. The company pool, the entity that distributes your bids to each one of your available customers, will in turn give the additional bids to those customers, 25 bids at a time, to each one of your available customers. So you can give 1,000. Any subscription level can give 1,000. You can only go based on the tiered level of 100, 250, and 500. The company pool does the rest for you. So yes, you can give 1,000. You are just limited based on your subscription level. And that is it for today, Peter.
Perfect. Okay, so we're going to call this a wrap. I'm going to push the recording button over here. We'll shut it off.
Your conference recording has